Hi everyone, and welcome to our session on Canva. My name is Corinne Kelly, and today I'm super excited because I'm going to be sharing with you one of my all-time favorite tools. In fact, it's a tool I probably use the most, second to maybe Google and my email. That's about it. Other than that, this is the tool that I use the most often in my work and also personally. So if you've never used Canva before, Canva is an online design tool. It's going to let you design anything from flyers to classroom posters to Bitmoji classrooms to presentations, really anything that you can think of that you might want to create as far as print or online content, media, and things like that. This is the place for you. In fact, you can even create animated items. So it's really going to open up a whole world of possibilities if you've never used this before. The first time you come to Canva, you can sign up. There's a little sign up button up here, and they do allow you to log in with Google and Apple and Facebook. So if you like to do that, save yourself a little bit of time and one less login to remember, you can do that as well. However, if you are an educator, I would encourage you to go ahead and head over to canva.com/education. And there you're going to be able to sign up as an educator. So Canva has both free and paid plans. So there's free, there's the pro plan, where you can get more stuff, but they also have education plans, okay? And the education plan is for educators, and it's going to give you some of the things, the items that you would get access to in the pro plan for free. And I know that we teachers love when we get those free perks. So if you are an educator and you're signing up for Canva, go to canva.com/education. Go up here to register for free, fill out all of the information. You can still use your Google account. You'll still be able to do that. And then at the end, it's going to ask you to verify that you're a teacher. And how you're going to do that is provide a document. You're going to upload a document that has your full name, your school, your status as a teacher, saying that you're a teacher, and it's going to indicate the current school year. And once you've got that verified, you're in, okay? And then you'll just have more options that way, which is always nice, okay? So for now, I'm just going to log into my account. I do have in this account a pro account, so I'm going to have lots and lots of options that you will also have if you sign up as a teacher. And I'm in, okay? So there's a lot going on here on this home page. So off to the side is like a little sidebar navigation where I can access all of my designs. So if I click on that, it's going to have all the stuff that we've been working on. You can tell that we use this a lot for a lot of different things. Okay, tons of stuff for presentation, social media, flyers, things like that. Also down here are going to be my different folders of images if I need to access those, all of the things I've uploaded. Okay, when you're ready to create new content, you can go one of two ways. So up here, there's a little create button. That's going to allow you to create a new blank item in whatever size you want. So when you click create a design, it gives you all sorts of suggestions over here, presentation, an Instagram post, a 5.5 by 8.5 flyer, all kinds of, you can see it just keeps going. Just keeps going so that everything's sized appropriately. So nice if you've ever wanted to, for example, create a special virtual background for your Zoom, but you weren't sure what size to make it. They have that here, okay? Or you can choose custom size right down here and say, I just want an 8.5 by 11. I want to print this on paper. That's what size I need it to be. You can always resize later. So if you're making something and you're thinking, this isn't quite right, you can always resize later. They also have the option here to edit photos. You're going to see all sorts of different filters and things like that that you can use in here, so that's an option too. I'm just going to choose Instagram post. I wanted just something square, okay? And then when you come in here, this is what it's going to look like. So it's just a blank canvas. You can have more than one page essentially in here. So I'm seeing one right now, but up at the top of the square, I'm also going to see a place where I can put a note on this to remind me of something. I can duplicate the page, which I use all the time, and then new page. There's also an add page button down at the bottom. So you can add page after page after page if you're making kind of a collection of items, or if you wanted to keep everything kind of together in this one file. You have a space to give it a title. Give it a title there, okay. And that will automatically save it. Everything's automatically saved in here. Up at the top, you can always go back to that home page. You can undo. There's a little undo button up there. Your resize options are here as well. The other cool thing that this does, so I can put any dimensions in there. I can select from the presets. I can resize this one, or it will make a copy of this in a different size. So if I was creating stuff for social media and I made a Facebook post and I also wanted to post something similar to Instagram, I could copy and resize to an Instagram post from a Facebook post and vice versa. So there's all kinds of options there. You might use it all the time. You might hardly ever use it, but I do use it every once in a while. In my sidebar, these are all of my tools here, okay? So, excuse me. Up at the top, we have our templates. There's a search here, and then there's a filter, okay? So you can search. It's showing me some different templates I could use. These are kind of nice sometimes when you don't even know quite what you want to make, because it can give you inspiration, or you can say, I like that, but I want to take this out and put something else in. It can give you kind of a place to start. Uploads are next. These are all the items that I've uploaded. So to upload an item, to upload content, you can click Upload Media, you can choose device, or you can choose Google Drive, etc., and you can upload content from your computer, your device, okay? I don't usually go that way. What I usually do is, if I have something, I'll just drag it in here and it'll automatically upload. The other thing that works really well is copying and pasting. So if you have an image that you found online that you wanted to use, if you were like building a Bitmoji Classroom, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and you found some furniture you wanted to use, you could just copy and paste it in here and it will upload it into Canva and save it for later. So you don't have to find it again if you want it later. So you can upload, you can drag and drop items into Canva, or you can copy and paste items into Canva, and all of that, all of those options will work for what you're trying to do, okay? All right, let's keep going. And you can upload videos and audio too. I should mention that. You can also add multimedia elements. Below that, they have photos. These are not your photos. These are photos that you can use in Canva, okay? So there's a search here. So if I want to search kids, all right, you can search kids. And then there's a filter here where you can say, hey, I only want to see free photos or pro photos, or I'm looking for something that's going to fit in a square because I'm working with a square canvas here, or I need something with some blue in it because blue is kind of a theme color in my presentation. You have all of those options there, okay? Anytime you find something that you want to use, you can just click on it. It's going to insert in here. So I have an item in here now, okay? Let's look at what we can do with photos while we're here, while we have a photo. All right, so I have some, as soon as I put the photo in, I saw this show up. I have some effects. So there are effects and there are filters. So effects are going to distort the way the photo looks. I can make this a little rainbow photo. I'm going to undo that. You can colorize it. Okay. It's just got all kinds of different things. Filter, pixelate, can pixelate it. So they have different filters that you can, effects that you can connect. It also has a background remover on here. So if you ever add something that has, and right now I'm clicking on the square, I'm going to change the background color here and see if this works. Okay, so you can see this has a white background. See if this one works. They don't always work, it's not perfect. If I click on that and say effects and choose background remover, it'll do its best. Okay, did a really good job. The lamp is a little sketchy, but the rest of it's pretty good. So you can use the background remover. Let's see what else. Get our kids back in here. They also have filters. If you wanted to brighten it up or kind of give it a different mood, or you wanted to go black and white, and then you can adjust your adjust your photos. You can also crop them, flip them. Really, it's a great simple photo editor, essentially. Okay. All right. Beneath that are elements, and this is kind of something that's really just kind of cool and unique to Canva. They have all of these great elements that you can use. So you can run a search. That's generally where I start. I've been using this for a while, so I kind of know what I'm looking for usually. But if you don't, there are also categories. So they have lines, shapes, they have frames. I'll show you what a frame does here. So if I put this frame in here, I go to photos and I drag that photo over the frame, it's essentially going to mask that photo. So that's what frames are. You just take a frame and you drag a photo into it and it's going to put the photo in the frame. It does not work with ping images that have transparent backgrounds. So if it's got a transparent background on it, the frame won't work, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see. Just going to keep this up here and we'll decorate it a little bit. Stickers are cute little moving items. If I click see all. Okay. Now we have, it's getting a little wild in here, isn't it? You got little stickers in here. And you can resize those. Everything can be resized. All right. Get rid of that. Charts, gradients. They kind of change the categories depending. So you can see I've got some different groups here that we can look at, but you can always run a search. These must just be trending a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. So you can play with that a little bit. Search is really easy. Let's do a flower. We've got flowers here.
This is the link that you'll need to receive your certificate of attendance for this session. Simply visit bit.ly/OhioDLD2021 and click on the link that says click to find out how to receive a certificate of attendance. There you'll fill out a form and supply this code. Make sure you type it exactly as it appears here, as it is case sensitive, and then a certificate will be emailed to you.
Okay. All right, so I've got, again, a lot going on here. So I'm building this up. All right, so there's all different elements, and really there's just like anything in here, okay? Now, one thing to keep in mind, when you find something that you like, so I like this flower, maybe I'm looking for similar flowers. A lot of times you'll get this little magic recommendations, and it's going to show you similar items or items from the same provider. There's all different designers that share content on here so that you can create something that's going to have a nice cohesive look without too much trouble on your end. Okay, so that's really great, the magic recommendations. If you find something, you find like a, I'm just going to search kid. Okay, so if you find a little kid that you like, maybe I really like this little girl that's up here, and I want to know if there's more kids that are in the same style, you can click on these 3 dots, and underneath it you can add likes. You can add it to a folder that you've created so you don't have to search for it again. You can see more like this, okay? Or you can just say view more by, and it'll have the creator's name there. All right, so see more like this. Those are kind of similar. Or I can click view more by this person, and I'm going to type my same search there to find kid. There's a little girl. Okay, and then it does have some other kids that kind of look similar to that child. Okay, it's getting crazy. I don't even know what this is right now, but just to show you all the different stuff. Okay, now something to keep in mind is that Canva works in layers. So if you've ever worked in Google Slides or PowerPoint, you know things kind of stack as you add them. So if I wanted this little girl to be behind this purple flower, I would put her on top of where I want her to be, and then you can right click and move her back once, but I like to go up to position and just send her backward until she's where I want. That worked really quickly. And you can see here too, there's also alignment tools to align multiple objects or text boxes. You can move things forward and back. They also have a format painter now. Transparency, if you wanted to make a photo kind of transparent. Okay. Linking, you can link content so when you download it, it's linked. You can also lock items. Excuse me. You have all kinds of options here. Okay. All right. You also have text boxes down here. They have fancy text that's set up to have a certain look that you can always adjust. Okay. Or you can just choose text to add. So that's totally up to you what you want to do. If you just choose text, it's going to put a text box in here. It's really tiny. It's down at the bottom over here. I'm going to grab it, and we're going to make it a lot bigger so we can see it. This is not the prettiest thing I've ever made, but we're going to roll with it, okay? So once you have that in here, okay, your text box, you're going to be able to choose any font you want. They have tons of fonts. If they don't have the font you want, you can find a font file online and you can upload it down here, okay? So I can add additional fonts. You are not limited to the fonts that we see here. And they have so many different fonts. It's wild. Okay. And then you also have colors. So we haven't talked about the color palette yet. This is another thing I really like about Canva. I'm going to clear out some things here because it's getting a little distracting. I know you guys were hoping I was going to save that, right? So the color palette. I'm in a pro account. I've already created some color palettes. You can create your own color palettes. So if there's colors you like or colors that you use a lot, you can absolutely create your own color palettes here, okay? And then the other thing you can do is select a color using this, or if you're using a color picker, there's one that I like for Google Chrome called Eyedropper that you can pick a color from a web page You can actually type a hex code in to find a specific color in here as well. Okay, so you can kind of play with that. All of your normal stuff, bold, italics, underline. Sometimes you won't have those options depending on the font, because not all fonts have all of them. They have uppercase, lowercase, sentence case options, alignment, bulleted list, line spacing, and letter spacing. So if I wanted to kind of spread those out, you could do that. And they even have letter effects here. Ooh, that kind of hurts your eyes, doesn't it? So they've got curved text now. That's actually a newer feature, which I'm excited about. Echo, splice, all kinds of different options here. Okay. All right, I'm going to change this from friends to plants because we're going to go find a plant. Give it more of a curve. Right. We're going to find a plant so I can show you some color options. So some of the items I added earlier did not allow me to adjust the color, but there are also a lot of elements in Canva that do allow you to adjust the color. So I'm going to go back up to elements here. And I'm going to say potted plant. Okay, let's see if we can find one. Yes. Okay. So here's my little plant. I want you to notice when I added this plant and I have it selected, you can come up here and choose to change some of those colors. So if you saw this plant and you thought, I really like this plant, but I do not like that pink and yellow pot. Let's take care of it, okay? So I'm going to come in here to pink and I'm going to adjust that a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing here with the yellow, a little bit of a terracotta color. Okay, so you have so much flexibility and creative freedom with a lot of these tools. It just makes it so fun. And you can see all the different little plants and animals and food. If you have ever been trying to make a worksheet for littles or really anybody and you were looking for icons and you couldn't find icons that looked good together, or you couldn't find just icons that you liked, this is a great place to come. They have so much stuff available to you. Okay, so we talked about text. They have different styles. These are different color collections, palettes that you can use that kind of complement each other. They have audio in here. I mentioned earlier you can upload your own audio, but you can also add audio. So if you were creating a video, which you can do in here, you can create a video and add content to it. So cool. We're not going to get into that today because that would be a whole other video. You can add audio, and then they have videos in here as well that you can use to add to your video. All right, background I touched on briefly, but they have all different backgrounds. That's going to fill in behind here. You can see. Yeah. All right, and then folders. So folders is where you're going to keep your content, right? So you can create as many folders as you want. You need to create a folder before you can add content to it. So you can't find something, say, hey, I want to put this into a folder, and then create the folder. You have to have that folder set up ahead of time. So if you want to create a new folder, you're going to go to folders and then go up here to where it says create new. I'm going to create one that's called Bitmoji Decor. All right, and I'm going to create it. And then to add content to that folder, you can upload it from your machine, or you can go into your current uploads, and when you hover over items, gotta get my lava lamp, right? You just hover over your items and then select them. Got so much stuff to go in here. Okay, this is looking good. All right, and I'll say, go down to the bottom and select the folder, not the trash can, And then I'm going to put it in my Bitmoji decor. It's going to move them all in there so I can find things easily. I love it. Not only can we create, but we can organize and find our content. Love that. Okay. Let's take a second. There we go. All right, so now I have my folders. And then under more, you can connect other apps in here so that you can pull. You can see that they do have Bitmoji connected here as well. I'm going to show you how you can get those classrooms kind of started here in just a minute. If you wanted to go ahead and add your person here, you can do that. If that's something you're interested in, there's going to be another session, another video on Bitmoji classrooms and bookshelves and things like that. So I would just say what I like to do, if that interests you, is actually create the room in Canva. And then I like to put my Bitmoji in later. So in case I wanted to change my Bitmoji's outfit or something like that, I could just do that later in like Google Slides. Rather than having to come back into Canva and then re-downloading the room, it's more work. So I don't usually put my Bitmoji in when I'm working in Canva. I do that later on. But you can connect all kinds of different stuff. So that is kind of the basic rundown of this. When you are done and you're ready to go, all right, you can go up to download and then you choose what you want it downloaded as. You can see you have so many options here. So I do have a white background here. So if I wanted to download this as a transparent image, I could choose Ping, the transparent background, and I could download that file. Okay, there we go. It's going to open up here so we can see. Maybe. I'll find it. Here we go. So there's it's got a transparent background. It's a nice size, very crisp, looks good. I could also download it with a background. If I didn't want it to be transparent, I could have it be a PDF. And then once I have this image, I can use it anywhere, right? Okay. So that is kind of the basic rundown. I'm going to duplicate the page here just to show you something really quickly. When you have, just grab another plant for our plants pages here. Okay, so when you have multiple pages, I'm going to go back up to download. You're going to see by default it's going to download all pages. You can select here individual pages to download as well. If you're downloading as a PDF, it'll download as a single PDF. But if you are downloading multiple pages and you're downloading them as JPEG or PNG or really any of the other file types other than the PDF, it's going to zip them into a folder that you'll have to then unzip to open. All right, so we kind of went over the basics of Canva, hopefully enough to kind of get you started, get your feet wet, get excited about it. I do want to show you some of the different templates that you can use that I think are kind of timely and exciting. So we mentioned a couple different things. They do have some categories here. They have a school category. So if you click on school, they pull up a couple different things. You can also come up to the top and choose to search. So you can search education. It'll pull some stuff up for you that way. If you go up to the templates menu, you get more up there too. Let's go there. They have an education section. So if I was looking for classroom decor, I wanted a banner to print. Maybe you have a poster printer. You want to design a poster, or you wanted to make some really cute little name cards for your desks. Classroom rules. They have so many cool things already on here, and these are all editable. So you can come in, you can use any of these. They have lesson plans. If that's your jam and you want to make some really cute looking lesson plans, you can do that in here. What else do we have? Worksheets. The worksheets are super cute, by the way. They've got a lot of worksheets, and the great thing about these is, let's see, I can adjust these, okay? So these animal homes, I could change the animals. I could do whatever I wanted with those. Or maybe we need it in black and white. I could go through and I could change all of those animals to black and white. So all of these you can adjust to your needs. They're just like a jumping off point, but they have so many great templates for us to get started with. So I love that. Let's see. Templates, bookmarks, certificates, class schedules, so many cool things. If you are teaching remotely and you use a virtual background, you can type in Zoom virtual backgrounds. It'll pull up a bunch of different templates here. How cute is this little chalkboard background so that you can have your agenda for the day up there? Super cute. Love that. You get little birthday ones with hats, so many fun things. And then if you are interested in the Bitmoji Classroom, like we were talking about earlier, you can just type Bitmoji here. And what it's going to do is give you a bunch of rooms that already have some furniture in them so that you could add your little person to it, okay? So these are all like great places to start. And even if you don't like all of it, remember, again, it's all customizable. So we love that. I am going to click on this room, and then I'll choose Use Template. All right. Okay, so we got like a little Lego room in here. All right, so we can kind of play around with this at this point. All right, I can change the colors. I can add additional elements. I can remove some things. Maybe I liked kind of the color of the room, but I don't like this easel. I can get rid of it, okay? And then when you go to elements, they just make it really easy for you to add content, okay? So I can add multiple plants. Maybe I want to change some colors around in here. When you're changing colors, so I changed that plant to that kind of pink color. If I wanted to use that color elsewhere, maybe I wanted to replace all of the red with pink. Down below, when you change a color, something asks if you want to change all. So I can change all really easily. Let's see. They make it so easy for you to do. Okay, so once you get things set the way you want, you can keep adding stuff. I highly recommend, if you're going to go out and look for items, to always go ahead and try to find items with a transparent background, because that background remover can be a little temperamental. So what I'll do, I'm going to go look for a chair, because I want a chair that looks like a real chair. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type in armchair transparent background. You can type ping image, but if you don't put transparent, you're still going to get a lot of ping images that have a, excuse me, a background. And even here, I'll get some. So I clicked on images. See if we can find a little chair. Something cute. It's so hard to find cute furniture. I know some of you are thinking, that's an ugly chair. Sorry, everybody. So the other thing about some of these is that they're going to look like they have no background, but I'm going to copy this. You're going to paste them in there, and they're going to have a background. It's uploading right now. We can try to remove the background on this, but it's really best practice to find something that does not have a background initially. There we go. Let's see if the background remover can do it. Oh, they did a great job. Okay, so that one worked. All right, so I'm going to get my chair ready. I'm going to move my plants over here out of the way. Maybe I need a bookshelf. I think I already have a bookshelf, so I'm going to go over here to folders. Find my Bitmoji decor, see if I can find a little bookshelf. And then you can just adjust these until they look like they kind of fit into the room. You get rid of those so I can get my bookshelf over here. And remember, to make it look more realistic, sometimes you have to work with the layering. So if I wanted my chair kind of in front here, I'm going to pull my chair over, and then I'm going to hit position, and I'm going to bring it to the front. And now I can put my chair a little in front of my bookcase, okay? Now I could spend hours doing this, and we're not going to. I'm going to kind of stop at this point. If you are thinking that you want to go further with this, please check out our session on Bitmoji bookcases and Bitmoji classrooms. I think it's called Bitmoji Your Bookcase is another one of ours that we're going to do, kind of talk about this stuff. Okay, but at this point, what I would do is I would download this, and I'm going to go put it in my Google slideshow. All right, but this should be enough to kind of get you started. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and contact me. My contact information will be provided. But thank you so much in the meantime for joining us. I hope you're excited to dive into Canva and start playing. And I hope we get to see you in another video. Bye.